Hey Gary,
What's up?
I think it's time that we do another episode.
Oh my God, already?
Already?
Well, I'm busy looking at this and I'm thinking, well, why don't we do a couple of Chargers this week? So we'll do a part 3, which is the Dennis Collins car. And we've got another one now. We have a 69 Charger that's come in. So we'll look at this thing. This needs some serious work. You saw that. It's
Pretty rough.
Real rough. So we'll show you around the two cars. We'll show you the chassis that's been built. We've got a mock-up block in the original, the 70 car from Dennis. And we'll show you around. And you know what? I'm kind of really digging this tequila walk.
I think it's that time.
It is. Time for another one.
Grab your tequila
And
let's go.
The Charger that came up from Wiley, Texas from Dennis Collins. This Dave's been real busy here. Actually, everybody has, but this is Dave's magic here. All the little bends. So we've got a really nice bar side down beside the seats to obviously safety feature for the drivers. There's main tube lines here. We've got the outriggers, and we're just getting the cage sort of all tacked in so we know exactly where everything's going to be. Supports under the dash, and we've got the framework in the back here for the Fab 9 rear end. In the meantime, we cut the nasty quarters off, and we've got the two new ones on, just tacked into place right now. And then we're going to be doing, like I said before, a custom floor and everything. You come to the front here, you can see this is a mock-up, much easier to carry than a full motor.
That's cool. It's just a foam block of a Hemi.
Foam block of a 426 Hemi. So it'll allow us to, locate where we're going to put the headers and bell housing and the transmission and everything. We've got that in the other room there. So right now we're just getting the layout of where the motor's going to be set back from the front suspension slightly. Keep the weight back a little bit further. That's a big motor once you get, an 871 blower and stuff on top. There's a lot of weight there. So it's coming along quite nicely. A lot of stuff got trimmed. And what's your next move on this, Dave? What are you thinking?
Just trying to get the rest of the roll cage in. As I'm sure you've already mentioned, this thing is going to be up there in horsepower, right around 1,200 horsepower mark.
Or more, depending on how much we want to give them all at one.
You're trying to get a blower to mock up on the front to cut that hole out of the hood eventually?
Yeah, I should have the blower and the intake and stuff up here next week, and then that'll allow us to do the cutting on the hood and stuff. And once that mock-up's done on the front, there's a lot of floor work to do here, and we're doing all custom panels inside the engine bay as well as all the floors. So this structure's got to be first, and the way it's tied in here is really nice too. There's extra plating on the inside of the rockers. You put all that in, Dave?
Yeah, a little bit of extra reinforcement. Just unlike the original, where it's just the frame rails are connected to the front and rear section of the floor pan. There's no place where it's really tied in besides the floor pan. So I've gone and put some reinforcement in there on the inner rockers. That's what the entire frame structure is actually going to be fastened to, besides rad support and out the trunk. Rear of the trunk area. So right now what I'm trying to do is get the cage all configured. There's going to be a lot of stress, a lot of pressure on the entire cage. The benefit is top, bottom, front to back is going to act as frame. So it'll take the brunt of the power.
I really like this layout that you've done here with the other tube angled in, with the supports tacked in here on both sides at the moment. It's really a neat little system, right? And then there's going to be an upper bar that comes through the firewall.
Yep.
It's going to tie into the front, and then that's also going to be the inner mounting points for the fenders.
It is.
Right. So the front will have to make a platform for the big honking radiator that it's going to need. So
How much linear footage of tubing do you think you went through on this?
My best guess thus far has been right around the 85 to 90 feet. Right.
Wow, that's insane.
Right now.
World's longest frame rail.
Well, I mean, it's a very thick wall, right? And the main rails are what, 2-inch?
2 inch, yeah.
2-inch, and the cage is what, inch and
Inch and three-quarter. It's standard roll cage tubing.
Right. So, you know, the wall thickness is, you know, it's all there too for making it real solid. I don't want any accidents. That's why that compartment is going to be so tight. You know, it's going to be, if something goes wrong, we walk away. You know, let's build another car.
And then in the rear, are we doing back seats?
Absolutely not.
Fully caged and
fully caged. A lot of the caging in there is actually going to be to support the stereo system.
Wow,
yeah.
I've got some ideas for that. It's going to be loud both inside and out. The benefit to doing it the way that we're doing it is that the tunnel itself, which would normally be made out of sheet metal, the actual stamped floor, we're actually going to use the roll cage tubing, run it up inside of each driver and passenger seat.
Yeah, if you actually look here, what's going to happen is the idea is it's going to tie in and come down and then flow along the center here. So in between the two seats will be underneath that. It's fairly wide because obviously you've got a much bigger transmission and everything, but inside of that is going to be all tubing as well for extra support. So I think Dave's plan here is to come down off that bar underneath, straight down, back, and then we're going to have one big console in the middle, so it's pretty slick.
Really cool. I really dig this design here, so it's not too difficult to get out.
It's easier to get in and out of the car. Like, have you ever, driven a car with a 6-point cage where the thing comes down here, and you know what you do, you just about de-nut yourself getting into it. So
really cool.
If you pan around the other side, you can actually see where it meets in conjunction with the seat that's sitting.
You kind of followed the contour of the seat, did you?
If you follow it on the seat that's just propped up there with the mock-up, you see it on the other side, how it follows the shape of it. These are like a pro car seat with nice side bolsters in them too, so that'll all tie in.
And this is, again, I think you mentioned this is the Fast and the Furious replica almost, right? Like a tribute?
So, what's interesting is this is the Fast and Furious replica from the movie. And then we have a 69 Charger that just came in that needs some real serious love. Now it's going to be a General Lee, which is kind of cool. So,
super cool.
So we got, it's a 440 automatic car. So it's going to be kind of, we've got a ton of metal work to do on that thing before it even goes anywhere. So it's hard to move around. As you guys know, it's fun unloading that.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
cool.
But we'll have a peek at that car in a couple minutes, and we can just show you the stuff we have to start with and where they finish up.
So over to the other side, I guess, eh?
Yes, sir.
Wow, more cars over here.
Well, they're just putting the final. We have a heck of a time getting. I think everybody in this business got the same problem right now. Getting parts is just an absolute, it's an arm wrestle, right? So Bill's just in the middle of finalizing a couple major pieces that we needed for this 57 Bel Air resto mod. So you can see he's under the dash there putting the AC in. And then we just put all the pulley system on the front, which ties it with the AC, of course. So he's a busy lad.
And here we have it here.
Well, there she is. She's looking a little sad, but as you can see, the rear there's no rear diff in it. We've got another one actually, so we're gonna get this thing all supported because you can see how weak it is in here. The quarter's actually pinched into the door. So this is going to need same thing, all floors.
And this is a 1969, is it? 69.
He's got a 440 for it. I believe that's it right there. And it's going to be the first gen of the General Lee.
I heard one of the differences with that is like a butterscotch interior and gold engine bay, I heard too.
Well, there was a few things, and the script and the lettering was actually a little bit different too.
Interesting.
From the first one to the second. So, as you can see, they just need some major support work before we can even get it to the point of putting frame rails and stuff and floors on it. So that's next week's job, is to start cutting. And
Yeah, we literally had to drag this whole car off,
yeah,
just wrap the strap around the back,
It's in
and
a sling, and you can see it bowling, you know, and I'm like, oh boy.
so next week we'll be getting probably a whole rear end, leaf springs, and get this to be in a roller so we can move it around.
It's a lot easier to move around. I mean, it doesn't have a steering column in it right now. We've got a column for it and stuff, but you know, you can see that it's in need of everything.
Floors, rockers, you name it then, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything under the hood right now? You mentioned that he's putting a 440 in it.
Yeah, the motor's there. There's nothing under the hood. We're gonna get this all stripped down and get it blasted, and sort of get a real good idea what we're looking at. You know, as you can see, it's pretty much sitting on the ground right now. There's
Oh yeah, K-frame's right on the ground, eh?
Yeah.
You even got the fender tag. I'll show you guys that.
It's sort of a completely different build than the other one, where it's, you know, it's an absolute monster, right? And then you've got one that's, you know, again, another movie car, or a series car, I guess, from Dukes of Hazzard. So it's gonna be cool. I like doing the different stuff. We just got a long walk with this one. Tequila walk, I guess.
That's it. And we love having the Mopars in here, but you're always after Mopars, and especially maybe fastbacks, I heard, right?
Yeah, well, you know, Richard, I'm actually looking for, we're always looking for 67 fastbacks, 67, 68s. We're always looking for these Chargers, 68, 69, and 70s. We look for old pickup trucks, 47 to 55-ish. The 60 to 66 stuff is quite popular now. So we're always looking for that stuff. So Richard, Dennis, don't forget us poor boys north of the border. You know, I know all your buddies down there in Texas always want first pickings, but you know, our money's green too. So keep this in mind. We're always looking for toys. We got a long list of customers. I think I mentioned earlier that we have a ton of cars in here that we're working on. We probably turn down, and I gotta say, at least a dozen a week.
Wow.
So I mean, we're really, you know, we kind of really pick and choose what comes in. This fella here, we'd actually talked to him off and on for almost 2 years. So finally there was the opportunity to, you know what, bring it in. We got another one, so it's a lot easier when you're buying parts. If you're buying volume, it usually gets their attention a little bit more with the parts supplier. So anyway, stay tuned. Get you some of that, Richard. So for the people that are watching us and follow us, if you know of or have cars that, you know, you're at the point you just don't want to take on the project, you've got, you know, the cars we mentioned, you know, 67, 68 fastbacks, Chargers, Cudas, stuff like that, even nice early trucks, Chevy, Ford, doesn't really matter. You can always send us an email. It's radicalrestoration@hotmail.com. Send us some pictures of what you got, and we're always looking for stuff.